Hi, Amy.
Abby.
We just watched Before the 90 Days, Season 8, Episode 15. Preliminary thoughts?
Thought it was a filler episode. It was irritating. I don't think that there was anything that made me laugh or that entertained me in any capacity. What do you think?
Repetitive, predictable, staged. It's not
Yeah.
feeling good. It's not feeling like a spontaneous, real episode or season anymore. It's feeling very rehearsed and or repetitious.
Agreed. Yeah.
I was not happy with this episode, and I'm sorry if that affects my commentary.
Yeah, it felt like a waste of time, and admittedly, I did fast forward a lot of it. So
Yeah.
there might be things that you have comments on that I don't know about. So let's
I
just.
have all these hairs sticking up here. It's really weird. Makes me look like I'm holding onto one of those electrical balls, like at science places.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
What's above
Okay,
your
never
head?
mind. Nothing. Before we dive in, let's do a quick 1 and 2. 1, rate, review, and follow us wherever you listen to the podcast. 2, watch us on YouTube at 90 Day Fiancé Honestly. And now we may begin with Elise and Joshua. Ugh.
Yeah. So
Her suspicion of him is just, where does that come from? Can you explain this?
I found this very curious because she seems to be more concerned about Nat than she is about his relationship with Chris. And that gives me more of a pause than his relationship with Nat.
That's a very good point. I hadn't thought about it in that particular context. I think both of them really would give me pause. Not because of the relationship, but more so just because he's living at her house when he's a grown adult of almost 40 years old with a job, who should be able to live on his own, at least in a rental accommodation. But no.
Yeah, the fact that she's financially supporting him at this age, and I can understand her, just being that kind of person that, she just wants to make sure that everyone's okay. But the fact that he's essentially just couch hopping between his parents' house and her house, and that would bother me even more. And Elise doesn't seem to give so much of a thought about that. It's more, what else is he not telling her about his relationship with Nat? Like, how about all the other things that he's not telling you?
Yeah. Yeah. The opening scene where we see her in effect having a meltdown / anxiety attack in the apartment while he's gone made me really wonder if, like most of the other people on this season, she doesn't have some kind of psychological issues. Like, she doesn't seem mentally stable. Because to have that kind of reaction to your boyfriend going out to do stuff and becoming so suspicious of him that you think maybe he's gone to Nat's house, maybe there's something going on, that to me just seems so extreme. She has communicated with him. She did get a text message from him. It's not like he completely vanished off the face of the earth. Did you not find that a bit odd, her reaction?
Yeah, and not just that, but oh my God, all the clothes on the floor. And I feel like her reaction is quite different from Annalee's reaction with Jovan.
Annalyn.
Annalyn, what did I say?
Annalyn. Annalee.
Oh, okay. Wrong season.
Yeah.
Because she's not married to this guy. He's supposed to be, quote unquote, courting her.
Yeah.
And yet he's still leaving all of his stuff all over the place. Like, this is probably what he does, and he just wants you to clean up after him, and or he just doesn't notice and or care. And it brought my mind back to when he was telling her about his previous girlfriend, about how she said, you need to get a solid job and you need to be successful. And I wonder if she was just asking for the bare minimum. I think we talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Elise is already seeing that he's not giving the bare minimum. But what really, really bothered me is when he came home and he said that, he had to go and work, and he didn't know that he had to go and tell her. But his work was driving a boat to be shipped across the country. Dude, what, a couple weeks ago? Did you not just steal and crash a yacht? How are they trusting you behind the wheel of anything? I don't believe it.
Okay, that's fair. What really struck me was the point where he came back to the apartment, cracked the door open an inch or two, saw that she was in there having her meltdown, crying, and decided to close the door and back away and go sit in the stairwell rather than come in and say, "Hey, what's going on? Are you all right?" That to me sent up a red flag. The
That
guy
that
does not like it when she has any high emotions.
like,
He's
because he
very
has
unsettled
found
by it.
himself. He's so disconnected. "Oh,
I
nope. No, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Okay."
Yeah, well, I don't know because he seems to have very strong reactions whenever they have an argument, and he reacts almost as in the same kind of volatile way that she does, but having a different reaction, if that makes sense. Like, he gets very, very defensive very quickly, where she kind of goes to suspicion and anger and accusations. But either way, I see them both as being very much challenged in controlling their emotions. So I'm not sure that the reason why he ran away when he saw her being upset was because he doesn't want to handle it or know how to handle it. I was just curious about that. I don't know what's going on there, but I found it very, very odd.
That's fair because she does bring it up, like, "Why wouldn't you just come in? Why did you just close the door?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of my emotions?" And I would say, "It's not worth my time." For me,
Yeah.
it's not worth my time to deal with her emotions because they're just so all over the map, but at the same time, he's not giving her the information that she needs in order to feel comfortable. I
Good.
don't know.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Why didn't he just text her and say, "I am at work. I will be about an hour or 2, and
Mhm.
I'll see you when I get back.
Yep.
Meanwhile, sleep in and enjoy yourself," or whatever, something. The fact that he's not communicating that kind of basic information to her, just saying to her, "I'm going out," is a bit weird as well. Like, I think they both have big immaturity issues.
I think it would be different for him to say, "I'm going to work," versus, "I'm going out."
Mhm. Yes, very different.
So, I think that this is a bunch of BS.
Okay. Yeah. Next up was the surfing lesson, which was kind of cute. Then they have the meal on the beach. I'm sure you'll want to comment on what they were eating, the sandwiches.
I So, before I comment on the sandwiches, he mentions that he wants her to stay longer. Already.
Yes.
Is it because now he knows how much she actually has, how much money she has,
Hmm.
and he sees the benefit of keeping her around? And then he mentions that his ex and the kid moved an hour and a half away, and he doesn't mention trying to fight it. Doesn't mention failing because he tried. He just said that he learned that he needed to calm down. If I were to laugh during this episode, it would have been after he said that.
Mhm.
But my only commentary about the food was it was probably covered in sand because the wind was going absolutely nuts.
All right.
I appreciate texture, but not of that sort.
All right. So while they're eating their sandy sandwiches, things start to devolve quite quickly. They're having this conversation, and he gets super, super defensive, as I mentioned
Mhm.
before. They have this argument that apparently lasts into the night. They don't sleep in the same bed. They don't actually speak. And the next day, we find out that he's gone to go work out with Chris on the beach while Elise goes to a cafe nearby to talk to her parents. And I
Him
think it bears mentioning at this point that she is once again falling out of her top, which is not really a top, but maybe more of a strip of cloth strategically placed over the nipples, but her boobs are okay. Anyway,
always,
enough about
always,
that.
always with the boobs, but him practically yelling at her, like, "Why would you think that I'm using you?" Well, sir, the fact that you can't keep a job, you're on your last leg with this one. Also, why do you have a last leg with this one after what you've done and
Yeah.
what you've admitted, what we know? She's the one that has the money. She's the one that has all of these luxury goods. And I mean, why would he be using her? Again, because of her money, and that's also why he wants her to stay longer. And then she does go off to talk to her parents, and she talks about how her ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance passed away, and I wonder if she's just so emotionally stunted from losing him at such a young age that now she's stuck at the age of 19, and I think that that really adds credence to her lack of emotional stability and her maybe her perception that she needs to dress this way in order to gain the attention that she needs because
Mhm.
that's how she got attention when she was 19.
Right.
2 years later. I thought that was really sad. But then, we continue on with her parents. Interject if I'm going too far, because again, I did fast forward quite a bit through this episode. But her dad tells her that she needs to slow her roll and to try to understand, what's going on with Joshua. And I thought at that point, her parents just want to be done with her. Make it
Maybe.
work because we don't want you back. We don't want to continue to bail you out of these stupid decisions. Deal with it.
Okay, that's one perspective. Mine was a little bit different. I enjoyed the parents trying to talk her down, and they obviously have dealt with this before, where
It was
Elise
obvious.
gets into a heightened state of emotion and she's feeling and seeing everything negatively, and they talk her down to reality to be a little bit more accepting and relaxed so that she can appreciate the good in the moment or the person, relationship, whatever the case may be, in order to keep a more balanced approach and perspective on what she's actually dealing with. So I enjoyed that part of what the parents were doing. I didn't quite get the sense that they were telling her to grow up and deal with it so that you can move on, because we know she does live, like, the parents live in Massachusetts or something and she lives in Florida. So it's not like she's dependent on them on a daily basis, although we don't know, she could be taking money from the daddy bank account. I really don't know. But in any case, I liked the way that they spoke to her. I liked their advice. I love the fact that dad was telling her to chill out and be less judgy. What's wrong with that? That's great advice for anybody.
No, no, no. I did appreciate how um, kind and patient they were with her. And we've seen that since the very beginning.
Mhm.
I'm just not sure, how much they want to bankroll her
Yeah,
mistakes.
I know.
And, maybe they are also hoping that, this is the one and maybe you are overreacting. Oh, take your time. You've only been there for what, a week?
I guess.
At the same time, like if you're having these issues a week in, is that not
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
While we're on the subject of timelines, you mentioned that it was 20 years since she was 19. She's only 32.
Shoot.
Yeah, so oopsie. It's
Okay.
only been 13 years since her former fiance died, not
Thank
20.
thank you for correcting me.
Not at all. Shall we read on?
Well, hang on. I want to go
Oh,
back
yes.
to the last scene that we have with them where uh, Josh and Chris are talking, and Josh is going off about, how he claims that she thinks that he's after her for her money,
Mhm.
and he's saying about how it's emasculating.
Mm.
And my question is
Odd choice of word.
how is that emasculating that you can't keep a job? You keep screwing up to the point where your ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance of 7 years has left you.
Yeah.
I see a pattern here.
Yeah. Yeah, the choice of the word emasculating, that it was emasculating for her to suggest he needs her money. I found that a very, very poor choice of word, does not fit with the situation. So I was like, okay, there's something else going on here. It's one of those like Freudian moments where you use the wrong word, but in fact, it is the right word because it hints at the actual problem that you're having with the situation, not with what's going on that you're pretending is the problem. Does that make sense?
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely not a Freudian slip, but I know what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Shall we read on now?
Please.
Lisa and Daniel.
Let's sigh.
I know. Well, this is where I just want to rip my hair out and run around the room screaming because I have had it with watching this woman and her hysterics. The crying, the hyperventilating, the falling to your knees, the begging and pleading. I will do anything. Come on now. It's a bit much. Have a little bit of dignity, please.
So before we even get to the uncle part, he's going on
Mm,
about, how much he loves her and how he wants to make it work. And my comment was, this guy.
this guy.
Okay, now I've laughed. Okay, that's a good start. Yeah. So that okay. And then he's no, we have to talk to my uncle. We have to talk to my uncle. Okay, great. We already know that. And then they go and talk to the uncle, as you were saying, the tears, the groveling on her knees, the fake panic attack. Oh God. He says, I withdraw my approval. Tears. Okay, and now I've left again. Okay, this is also good. Tomorrow, you may go back to your vomit.
That was awesome.
Okay,
Go
I think
back to your vomit.
I'm gonna I'm gonna highlight that as being my favorite
Yep.
part of the episode.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
I think we should keep that one forever. Tomorrow you may go back to your vomit.
I think we're gonna need it based on how things have been
Mhm.
going. But,
Yep.
he will go back to the elders. Instead of just saying, "Absolutely not, this is not going to happen." Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna go back to the elders to see what they say. What are the what is the I mean, I don't want to offend or I don't know, just say something rude about a culture that I really don't understand. Also, I don't know how true it is, but when we met the king with the lion face and the bones and rocks or and the
Yep.
necklace. I feel like they're all in on this. It's all the entire
Yeah.
community supporting Daniel getting his green card, though, she's told this many lies thus far. How can you believe the fact that she's going to have the money to bring you over?
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Well, that's a whole other can of worms. I see what you're saying about the religious aspect because we just don't understand it as white North American
Yeah.
women.
And I don't want
We
to report to to hmm, you know.
No, of course not. But yes, it does feel like it's a performance. However, for them, it is real and it is their religion. And so they have to follow by the rules of that religion. But the way that the thing that I find the weird part is the way that Lisa plays into it, even though she is also a North American white woman, the way, like her theatrical performances, her overacting, hyperventilating, and the fact that Uncle picks up on it. He says that she's crying crocodile tears, that her performance is only so that she can gain his sympathy. He doesn't buy it either. And I thought that was very telling. Uncle is obviously a smart man. He's very intuitive. He knows what's what.
Mhm.
And even though it seems to us a bit odd that you would have to go through all of this rigmarole in order to consult the elders or the religious leaders of the community to see if this abomination, as he calls it, can be overcome through whatever rituals. And I pray that they do not kill that sweet little goat that they showed in the preview for next week, because if they have to murder a goat in order to cleanse Lisa of her sins, I will never, ever, ever, ever forgive her or them. Anyway, when she reveals her 5 marriages, the fact that, or I guess it's Daniel who says all of the things. The 5 marriages, the lack of actually being divorced, so she's not free to marry at the moment. And then on top of that, 21 years of lesbianism. I was just like, this is so, you cannot write this into a script and have people believe it. And yet here we are watching it unfold in front of us. It's so absurd.
It's worse than like the telenovelas where just everything is so crazy and nothing is completely believable. And what were the other ones? Back in the day on TV, what were they called? The romance ones. What were they called?
I don't know what you're speaking of.
My grandma used
Not
to watch them all the time. It's like a
the
like
soap operas.
soap operas. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So
think they still have soap operas. I'm not sure, but
I don't have cable, but just the fact that he said that he was going to go back to the elders. I feel like all of this is passing the buck
yeah.
and letting someone else make that call. So Lisa is just like, I have hope that someone will
Mhm.
say yes,
Mhm.
perhaps, maybe, um, maybe, maybe. It's so stupid. Again,
Yeah.
it's a scammer playing a scammer. And like, what's going to happen if the elders do give their blessing and then they do apply for the K1 and it's denied because Lisa doesn't
Oh,
have the money and, or, Jane doesn't co-sign or something.
it's gonna be denied. It's
Oh,
gonna be denied because
100%.
it's Nigeria, right?
What
Nigeria.
too hard
And I
about?
I think the US has a strict no Nigerians policy now. Anyway, Um, do you want to read on, or is there anything else you'd like to say about Lisa and Daniel?
I mean, I don't want to read on, but
Yeah, I don't want to say anything else about them, so we're at an
yeah.
impasse. The
Okay.
show's over. Good night. Shall we read on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. It's yay, everybody's favorite, Laura and Birkan. Woo! He
Oh.
is so freaking smug and sarcastic at the beginning of their scenes.
So Michael comes out. Sorry, I'm just painting my nails. Clear nail polish. Anyway, so Michael comes out and he's like, "Oh, I have some gifts for you, and one is something that you asked me to bring. Did you catch what that book was?
No.
It was.
What was it?
It was smut.
Smut.
We all
Daily
know
smut?
how much she loves her smut novels.
Yes.
And I only know this because a friend of mine lent me one. I think it is part of this series. And I'm like,
Is it not called erotica or erotic fiction? Erotic literature?
they call it smut now. I don't know what
Is
changed.
because smut has negative connotations. Is that what it's called within the erotica world?
I
They call it
honestly
smut.
don't know for
Look, we're
sure.
both doing this. That's funny.
I,
This conversation about smut. Do tell me more.
I'm not entirely. Honestly, I have no idea how it is. I mean, back in my day, it was, but
Yeah.
now, I mean, I don't know if my friends are like, "Have you read these?" And I'm like, "What? What?" And look at it, it's coming from highly educated people as well. So I'm like, what does this mean? The smut versus the erotica. It probably means the same thing. But I thought it was strange that, well, I mean, we know how much Laura loves her sexually charged books, if you will. I don't know, whatever you want to
Mm,
call it.
mhm.
I thought that was interesting for him to bring that to her while she's with her boyfriend.
Yes.
That's one thing. Do you know what the other gift was?
It looked like something cozy, like pantoufles,
What?
slippers.
Slip.
Pantoufle. It's
Is that
just
how
my
you say it in
my
French?
pantoufle. Slippers.
Pantoufle?
Pantoufles.
Oh, nope. I
It's one
didn't
of
catch
those
what it
great
was.
words.
That was a
Yeah.
genuine question.
I
What?
don't know what it was. It looked like it was something cozy and fuzzy, so I thought slippers, but I wasn't sure and I wasn't really all that interested. I was more focused on the fact that what's his face was making the most rude and objectionable faces at Michael. It was amazing that Michael held it together and remained calm and civil towards Birkan throughout this whole exchange, even though y- like, if I was Laura in that situation, I think I would have stood up and said, "Michael, would you excuse us for a moment?" And I would have taken Birkan into the hallway and like had a really serious chat with him because
Yeah.
that was so embarrassing for her that her boyfriend would behave in this immature, childish, absolutely reprehensible way towards her best friend.
I'm doing this again.
Mm.
Uh,
Yes.
and he pipes up. He's like, "I'm here too, your boyfriend." Okay, this is after her friend gives her sexually charged reading material and possibly slippers. I feel like I would be more turned on by the slippers, but I mean, who am I to say? But then in her little side interview thing, she says that he wants him to grow up, ma'am. He's
He wants him
24.
to grow up.
She
What?
wants him.
She
She wants
wants him to
beer
grow up.
con.
Yes.
Beer con. Did I say that right? She wants him
Mhm,
to grow up.
mhm.
He's 24.
26.
I can't with these numbers today.
What is going on with you?
Useless I am. Anyway, he is under the age of 30.
Accurate. Exquisitely accurate. I love it.
It just, this is the person that you have chosen to date. You know his age. You know that his brain is barely developed, barely
Mhm.
matured, let alone, he himself. And you've done nothing but play into his personality and his behaviors. And now you're like, well, yeah, maybe he needs to grow up. Well, maybe you should too.
Exactly. And this is where I find the repetition comes in to such an annoying degree that I'm getting really, really tired of these two. She knows what he's like. We know what he's like. He has shown us time and time again that he is this absurdly rude and very, very egotistical asshole. Yes? Accurate? Correct? I think so.
I'd like to restate your word is smug.
Smug. Yes.
I
And
I hate
Laura
smug face.
sees this behavior over and over again, and yet she stays. She does not choose to leave this ridiculous man behind in the dust and say, "You are not worthy. Grow up. See you later." Why does she not do that? It drives me absolutely bonkers.
Okay, so remember how I told you that I had started reading that material that my friend had given me that
Yeah.
likely was part of the series based on the
Mhm.
cover of the book? There we go.
Yep.
That's the word. He's sitting on a bag. Can you hear that?
It doesn't matter.
No. Okay.
Continue.
Anyway, so based on the cover and what I'm reading, I wonder if there's some sort of kink that she enjoys
Hmm.
reading that Birkan fits into.
Maybe.
He
Maybe.
plays that role that she enjoys reading,
Okay.
and that's what keeps her going because she appreciates how much he fulfills of that sexual fantasy that she has.
Perhaps.
I'm
Perhaps that is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, of course. We will never know. We are not her. But the fact that this just keeps playing out over and over again, I find very tiresome.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, the three of them end up going out,
To a
surprisingly.
hookah bar.
More shisha. Wow. Surprise, surprise. And Birkan makes this statement about wanting to keep his enemies close to him. Fine, whatever. That's not the first time that statement has ever been made, although he seems to think that it is. He apologizes, quite surprisingly, also, that towards Michael, that he's been behaving like a bastard. Yes, you have.
But then he has that like sneer smirk on his face and that
Yeah.
tone in his voice, which sounds somewhat threatening.
Yes, his
I,
expression and delivery are very counter the words that he says. They're almost opposite.
thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that because I wasn't sure how to describe what that actually looked like. But yes, it's like complimenting you, but also like sneering at the same time.
Hmm. Mhm. Yes. Anyway, he says to both of Laura and Michael, "Why didn't you fall in love if you are best friends?" And Michael's making this speech about how best friends should get married. That's a very good question. I like it. And we find out that Laura has some sort of secret. There's something that she hasn't told Birkan around this relationship that she has with Michael. He has not been privy to. So who's going to tell him? Well, the only one left is Michael.
And at this point, I was like, "Oh, Laura, what did you
Hmm.
do? And by do, what did
Yeah.
you not tell him? What did you
Hmm.
not tell us? Is it what we have presumed all along?"
Yeah. Because I kind of remember from when we were first introduced to her that she talked about Michael having made a move on her. Am I remembering that wrong?
Yay. No, you're not wrong. I'm agreeing with
Okay.
you. Yes, she did say that he made a move on her and she said no. He was in love with her. She wasn't into it.
Right. So it was really critically up to her to decide whether or not she wanted to engage in a relationship with Michael. She's the one who has the power in this dynamic, according to those preliminary episodes that we watched.
Yes.
But now Michael is saying the opposite, that she made overtures towards him. He said, no, thank you very much. And since then, and this seems to be ongoing because he said something like, I said no then, would say no today, and I will continue to say no, which I thought was an interesting turn of phrase as well, suggesting that at any moment he knows that he could say yes to Laura and she would flip on a dime and go for it with Michael.
And in my commentary, I said, well, what a turn of tides. because I do think that we were led to believe that he was in love with her. She wasn't okay with it. And, he's been the one groveling after her.
Yeah.
Though why would he come to Turkey to save her if it was that the thing? Maybe he just has a very kind heart. Maybe he does love her as a human being, as a best friend, and he just wants to make sure that she's safe. I'm really not sure which one to believe at this point, though Birkan seems to believe Michael more than he believes Laura, which
Yeah.
I thought was interesting.
That was very telling that he was believing the words out of Michael's mouth more than out of Laura's mouth. And is that one of those misogynistic things that's just kind of inherent in the patriarchy that you'll believe a man more than you'll believe a woman, even though they're saying very different things?
And I also thought that was interesting, but because before they went to the pool hall, Beer Khan said something to the effect of he was willing to fight for her. And I
Hmm.
thought that he implied that he was willing to fight Michael to be with her. And then
Yeah.
at this point, like when they're leaning against the pool tables, it kind of looked like he was like, might have been wrong about this guy, probably
Yes.
wrong about this woman.
Hmm.
I'm not
The
sure.
other thought that occurred to me when we find all of this stuff out is that maybe this is the reason why Laura is so desperate and why she keeps hanging on with Birkan, even though he seems like such an asshole all the time,
I
is because
totally.
she can't have Michael. Birkan is her only option. It He's all she's got.
And Michael's just a good guy. He wants to protect her because she's his friend, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like, he's willing
Hmm.
to let her make her mistakes, but he's also willing to
Yeah.
fight a turkey. And maybe he
Hmm.
just wanted to go to Turkey.
Maybe.
I don't know. This anyway.
Shall we read on? Okay. We have the lovely Emma all by herself. No more Ziad. And she's on her way to meet Mohammed. Okay, so the question I have is, was this the intention all along? Was the whole thing with Ziad just a smokescreen, just an excuse to get to Morocco so that she could reunite with Mohammed the whole time? I mean, she brought the goddamn engagement ring back with her.
I would say yes. I've seen a lot of conjecture online about it, and everyone seems to be quite aligned on this that,
Hmm.
she was hoping to get on the show with Muhammad. He broke up with her, so then she found the next best thing. And then Ziad realized that he was played, and that's why he left her in in the desert.
Hmm.
And I think that this is really supported by the fact that she did bring the ring. How dare you bring your engagement ring from a previous man when you were hoping to be engaged to a new man?
Yeah.
You had to conscientiously pack.
Hmm. Hmm.
That, I think, was a new low for me. I mean,
Oh.
we've seen a lot of lows, but that was a different kind of low for me.
Well, here's another one then. She, as we know, slept with Ziad just a couple of days ago when they were still together before they went out to the desert. And yet now she's trying to rekindle things with Mohammed. Don't you think he would be a little bit upset about the fact that you were sleeping with another man just a couple of days ago who you were hoping to get engaged to?
Well, how is he
Mm,
going to know that?
it's on TV.
Well, because it hasn't aired yet.
No, of course it
It
hasn't
hasn't
aired yet.
aired yet.
But she would have to tell him because it's going to be revealed on TV.
Yeah, but how many times have we seen it on reality TV where, they play a certain theme, I guess, or a
Yeah.
certain narrative, and it's blown up after things are aired. She
Uh,
seems like
All
the kind of person
possibilities.
who
Yeah.
would just not bring it up.
Oh, absolutely. We know she likes to hide stuff. She has been hiding all of her secrets about Mohammed from Ziad since the beginning.
She hid the engagement ring from Mohammed in her luggage.
Okay, and we have to talk about her throwing it out into the sea, which was so dramatic.
Okay, wait. So she goes to meet Muhammad. He doesn't show up. He texts her. He says he's engaged. I don't know how, but people online are saying that she waited for an hour and a half before she gave up.
Yes, apparently the shots of her phone revealed the timestamps from when he sent the messages and what time it actually was.
Yeah. So again, I
Mhm.
fast forwarded quite a bit. So that's
'Kay.
that's on me. But, like, there's no chance in any capacity that I'm waiting an hour and a half for anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone. I mean, it would be different if I'm at home. You're stuck in traffic, there's a snowstorm, you're texting me along the way when you pull over or something.
Mhm.
No, that that's not happening. But then when she was the saddest toss ever. That was like, "I'm gonna toss this into the ocean, but, like, close enough that I can go and pick it up again."
Exactly. Exactly. Like, walk out
Eh,
until it's a little bit deep. Don't just throw it in where the waves are about half an inch over the top of the sand. That's
and
not effective.
and she's yelling about it, so there are all these people. Do you not think that someone's gonna go swimming in there to see if that's an actual diamond or real gold?
Yeah.
And like, why wouldn't you take both your engagement? No, because Ziad didn't actually propose. So why don't you take
No.
that ring to a jeweler, have it melted down, or get it pawned or something, because you don't have a job to go back to.
That's right. She could use the money for sure.
And honestly, I probably would have paid her the money for that ring just to watch her do it again. It was the weakest attempt I've ever seen. Like, why wouldn't you just, like, walk out to a cliff or something? Like, someone's gonna find it. And
Yep.
and
Yep.
also, I don't know what that ring looks like, but what if a kid steps on it and got hurt?
What if a fish swallowed it and got hurt? I mean, there's a whole bunch of things you can go, lots of roads you
Again,
can travel down with that one.
what are you doing, man? Just
Denting your fingers. But
it's
but
so ridiculous.
the other thought is, was it actually Mohammed who was texting her? Was it in fact his fiance who set her up for that rendezvous that never happened?
Or was Mohammed in on it and he was like, "Ha ha ha," and
Yeah.
then showing it to his fiance and he's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
"Let's laugh about this."
Yeah.
Because I think Emma and Mohammed had only been together for what, like 4 to 6 months or so? Like, it
It
was
was
short,
it was
wasn't it?
brief. Yeah. Yeah.
He was probably like,
Okay.
"Ha ha ha, here's this American girl coming back for me. Love you, babe.
Yeah.
Let's play her." So I don't know, but
Send her to Casablanca, make her wait for an hour and a half.
mhm.
Yeah, I think it was hilarious. What do they say? Revenge is a dish best served cold. Best served cold.
Yes, and if she
Yes.
was served a dish, it 100% would have been cold.
Yeah. Let's read on to Aviva and Stig.
Well, this'll be short.
Yeah, more repetition.
Okay, so now he
Blech.
loves her,
Now he loves her.
and I
Mhm.
don't wanna say it, but I
What?
have to say it. He loves her now after oh god, I hate this. I don't think that there's any way that I'm gonna be able to say this without making myself gag. He says that he loves her after he's tried, oh god, to breed her. Mm. Those are
Hmm.
his words, not mine.
Well, there were some choice words in this episode, some of which happened while they may or may not have been grinding corn. Okay.
Just
I
grunting.
mm,
Come on,
yeah.
come on.
Okay. Okay, so my biggest issue here was fine. He tells her he loves her, she says it back. Yay, happy dancing unicorns all around.
Happy days.
However, has he not told her what he told the cameras last episode? That he, in fact, has not been all that faithful towards her during this time that they've been together, but not together because they were not physically together. They were only together online. You go ahead and tell her that you love her and wait for her to say it back, and yet you have not confessed your bad behavior to her. Don't you think she deserves to know that?
And also, was there no resolution to the previous episode with, the potential other person, the woman that he was seeing, that her
No,
cousin possibly knew?
she
Not that,
just decided to believe him. She said, "I believe your story." So that's that.
yes, because we all
Convenient.
believe someone who is in the spotlight to be 100% honest, especially when they're of that age. So smart.
Yeah. So she still wants to be engaged before she leaves Belize. Mm, yeah. And she wants to be pregnant. Ugh. The good news is they're actually using protection now, but it may be too late. Then there's the Mayan cooking class, which I was initially excited to see and then very much not excited to see.
I was. Did they specify what kind of contraception they were going to be using?
Did they say condoms? I think that's what they're using now.
I probably fast forwarded through that part because it was so gross.
Mm.
And even though they say they're going to be using condoms, the answer is no. That's absolutely not going to happen. They're going to get into the moment, and which one of them is going to stop and be like, "Oh, I should probably put on or you should probably put on, I should probably," no, no one, neither one of them is going to friggin' do it. Are either
Well,
one of them even going to stop at the pharmacy to pick them up?
okay, though I believe the words that they used were since they had that talk in wherever it was, that they have been using protection. I don't know how trustworthy they are. I'm not saying that they 100% are doing this, but that is what was said.
Okay, I feel like based on the IQs of both of these people, their idea of protection could possibly be just pulling out.
Ah, the good old withdrawal method. Could be. Who
Very,
knows?
very, this is dripping with sarcasm.
Mm.
Now I forgot
Okay,
the word.
so yes,
Effective.
the embarrassing behavior at the Mayan cooking class with these women looking on who were there to teach them and prepare food for them, and meanwhile
Poor
he's
women.
grinding up against her from behind.
Oh,
Ugh, come on, guys. Like, get a little bit of class, please. And
mm-mm.
then we find out that they are going to take a pregnancy test because things might have happened.
And he's so excited about it. Pregnancy cravings. But she hasn't said, I want pickles and ice cream. She's just like, oh, this is delicious. She's just eating and enjoying the meal. And I feel like he's just kind of like pushing that narrative.
Yeah, oh, definitely they are, because I think the food cravings are a specific thing that happens during, I want to see the second trimester, but I can't remember. I know that I had them and it was later into the pregnancy, like once there was an actual bump of some significance. And yes, the cravings are real, but I don't think that they're like a week after you get pregnant. I don't think that's a thing. But I am not a nurse or a doctor, so don't take my
I
word at face value.
I have less experience than you do in this situation. However, I have had many, many, many people around me and be pregnant and have babies. And one of the things that they have told me is they first noticed that they were pregnant not based on like uh physical
Symptoms?
symptoms, but food aversions.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
can't eat. Nope, nope. Something I loved, I can't eat it, and I can't tell you
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
And then the symptoms occur. So for him to
Okay.
say, "Oh, you have those cravings," again, from me who has never experienced such a thing, seems so. Uh, he's just like pushing
Oh,
that
yeah.
narrative,
Yep.
and it really, what really sucked for me for their segment was. I think it would have been a really enjoyable episode had they not ruined it. I 100% would have eaten what they had created, but they ruined it before it even started. So,
Hmm.
eh,
Okay.
that's great. Thanks, guys. The one thing that I enjoy about the show is the food, and you already ruined it. So, thanks.
Yeah. Sit down and be quiet,
Yeah,
please.
just stop it.
Let's read on. We have one final couple this week, Rick and the lovely Trisha.
I'm not even mad about discussing this couple at this point.
Okay.
Just
Explain.
strange. So, huh, my eyebrows off my
Is
face.
your eyebrow is traveling upwards at an alarming rate.
And I also have a cat mustachio. Um,
Yes, it's a cat disguise. Very effective.
can you see me now? Okay. So, first of all, he's complaining the second that he wakes up. Love that.
Hmm.
And he's like, Trisha says that he's being respectful by, staying in separate beds. But could you imagine staying in a single bed with a man of that size comfortably without making any noise. Either like that weight on the bed.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not talking about any activity. I'm talking about just both of them being on the bed at that time. Like, he has to weigh like, I want to say 225 to 240.
Yeah.
She's got to weigh like 120, if
Yeah.
that. But that amount of weight on that structure of bed is going to make noise. Is that really respect, or is that just like a duh?
I see what you're saying. So if he had even attempted something, it would have been obvious to everybody what they were doing.
Because there's no sound cushion. There's absolutely no
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. So he
Nothing.
doesn't have a choice. He has to be good and sleep in his own bed all night long.
And
Yeah.
also the two of them, like, I just mean like size wise. There's no way
Yeah.
that they're gonna fit
Mm,
on a twin
mm-mm.
size bed. Anyway, so he wakes up, he's complaining about the bed, and then he's complaining about the water. I absolutely love the fact that her relatives are sitting around, they're laughing at him
Yep.
as he's complaining about how cold it is. Oh my god, that's great. And I also loved how she was sitting there just like leaning against the door jamb, also relishing about the fact that her relatives were laughing
Mhm.
at him. He's like, oh my god, it's so cold. They're like, "Oh, you can't handle the cold?" She's like, "Nope." Okay, right. And then what was really sad was how she said that she had to convince him to have kids. And then,
Okay. Well, wait.
so
Before we
am
go
I
on,
jumping ahead? Okay.
no, no, no. It's okay. I do want to talk about that. But you forgot one point of complaining that he decided to share, and which she had to literally shush him on because he
Go
was
on.
being so embarrassing, and the family was definitely clocking his tone of voice, was that he was complaining about the food that was being prepared for lunch because it was some kind of
Oh,
leaf
yes.
that he found to be extremely bitter and he
It
didn't
was
want
the
to eat it.
cassava leaf.
Yes, the cassava. That's it. Yeah. So go on talking about the kids thing.
Yeah, so she shouldn't have to convince him to have kids. We've talked about this time and time and time again. If you need to convince your partner to have kids, they don't want to have kids.
Uh-huh.
We already know for a fact that Rick doesn't want to have kids. This isn't
Yes.
one of those things where it's like, I need to convince him to get, a Mazda over a Honda. A Honda.
Yep. Mhm.
Like, this is not something that you can compromise on. You either have children together or you don't. And we already know, which we see in this episode, that she has to choose between her family and Rick. If she's not going to have kids, she's choosing Rick.
Mhm.
And that means that she's going to be completely ostracized from her entire family. And she's only
Mhm.
25. Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, numbers are not a thing.
Let me check.
She's so young. And
Mhm.
he's 50, he's 52, she's 25. Trisha, girl,
I know.
get your shit together.
I
This
know, but
man
we're
already
asking
he already has
like
what?
4 kids?
No,
5?
he's got 5 or 6.
7? 6? Well,
I don't know. He's got a lot.
I can't remember anymore.
He's got a ton of kids. He mentioned it in the last episode. Maybe I can find it.
The conversation that she had with her dad was very, very bad, I agree. I felt very badly for her that she was being forced with this almost an ultimatum, "Be with Rick, don't have kids, you can't be a member of this family anymore, or find somebody else and have kids and everything is good." Okay, they also draw the line in the sand saying he has to make the decision about whether he will or won't have kids before he leaves Madagascar. That's nice, but we already know because he has told us that he's decided he doesn't want kids. And him saying he doesn't want to make the decision with the family is just a, procrastination. He's hoping that he can get away without having given them an answer. That's clear. He's trying to weasel out of it. And if Trisha goes to Rick and says, "Look, my dad has given me an ultimatum and this is what it is," then he's going to lie. He's going to boldface lie to her and say, "Okay, that's it. That's fine. I want kids and we're good. Let's go," just to appease the family and to get the girl. And
Just to get what you want.
just to get what he wants, exactly, without letting her know that in fact he will not be having children with her. That is not his actual choice. He's just doing this so he can continue to use and manipulate her, which is
So he
not
has
good.
He has 5 kids, and I think he said that the youngest was, like, what, 2, 2 and a
2
half. I wouldn't put it past him. So, I'm of 2 veins right now, if that's the term. 1,
minds.
minds. 1, he just doesn't wanna have any kids anymore, and 2, he got a vasectomy after the last one,
Yeah,
and he
could
hasn't
be.
told her. Either
Mhm,
way, he has said in the interviews that he doesn't want any more kids.
mhm,
So he's gonna
yep.
string her along, and I wouldn't be surprised if he said, "Oh, I'm infertile now." They get
I
engaged, he goes back home, they apply for the K1, he gets a vasectomy, now they can't have kids. Oh my god, he has no sperm count. What happened? He was so
I
ver
wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that's what it seems like because she's his trophy wife.
Mhm. Yep,
He's so
yeah.
disgusting. I'm
Mhm.
really surprised that she can't see through that because I feel like she's been so intelligent throughout this. I really hope that she's gonna pull through at the end and just say, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
How dare you say that to her dad? I'm not sure if I wanna have kids with her."
No, he didn't say that. He said, "I'm not ready to make the decision yet," which is even worse.
Either way,
Just make a decision, you
y
idiot.
you wanna marry a 25-year-old woman and you can't commit whether or not you're gonna have kids with her? What a disgrace. So disrespectful. She
Yep,
deserves so much more than you. And, for him to tell her that, but then for him to have that conversation with the producers and us,
I know. I
she's
know.
gonna
That
leave him. There
I hope
better
so.
be no way that she stays with him.
I hope so. All right, final comments?
It looks as though next week is going to be very volatile.
Fiery. Mhm. And please, 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 let's keep the goats intact. The little baby goats deserve to live. Okay?
100%. I mean, that's just it. 100%.
Okay. All right. On that happy note, before we go, if you're enjoying the 90 Day Fiancé Honestly podcast, please subscribe to or give our show a follow. And if you have an additional moment, please rate us and help other 90 Day fans to find our show. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.